The rain poured relentlessly that night, soaking the streets of the city in a gray blur. A sleek black car stopped at a red light, its tinted windows hiding the man inside, Adrian Cole, a billionaire CEO known for his ruthless decisions and flawless suits. He had everything. Except peace. As he looked out, his sharp eyes caught a sight that pierced through his heart: a young woman, drenched, sitting on the cold pavement, holding a crying baby close to her chest. The mother shielded her child from the rain with nothing but her torn shawl, her face pale but her eyes filled with something rare: hope. Adrian couldn't look away. Something about her presence shattered the walls he'd built around his heart for years. He didn't know that this encounter would change both of their lives forever. Her name was Elena Rivers. A woman who once had dreams as bright as the city lights that now flickered above her. She had been a loving wife, a caring mother, and a hopeful artist. But fate hadn't been kind. Her husband, Daniel, had died 2 months earlier in a construction accident, leaving her with unpaid rent, hospital bills, and an infant daughter named Grace. She had searched for jobs, begged for help, and spent her last coins on milk for her baby. Tonight, she had no home to return to, only the sky above and the whisper of the rain. Her body trembled from cold, but her arms held Grace tighter. "Shh. Mommy's here," she whispered, her lips quivering. "We'll be okay. We just have to hold on." Inside the luxury car, Adrian watched in silence. Something inside him stirred, memories he had buried long ago. His mother, once a single parent, had raised him with nothing but strength and love after his father abandoned them. He had promised himself never to be weak like her, never to let emotions rule him. But seeing this woman broke that promise in an instant. The light turned green. He could have driven away. But instead, he rolled down the window and said, "Get in." Elena looked up, startled. I am fine," she stammered. "Please, just drive on." Adrian stepped out into the rain, took off his coat, and placed it over her shoulders. "You'll catch pneumonia out here. Get in the car. Both of you." Something in his tone, stern yet gentle, made her trust him. She climbed in, clutching her baby. The warmth of the car felt unreal. For a moment, she wanted to cry, not from pain, but relief. Adrian handed her a towel and turned on the heater. "Where do you live?" he asked. She hesitated. "I don't. Not anymore." Adrian's jaw tightened. "You have a baby. You can't live on the street." "I'll find a way," she said softly. "I always do." He stared at her reflection in the mirror. There was no self-pity in her eyes, only quiet strength. That's what drew him in the most. He drove her to a nearby hotel and booked a suite. When she protested, he said only one thing: "Take care of your child. Let me handle the rest." That night, for the first time in weeks, Elena and her baby slept in a warm bed. And for the first time in years, Adrian felt something he hadn't felt in a long time: compassion. But he didn't know, the woman he just helped would soon become the one person who'd heal the emptiness inside him. The next morning, sunlight broke through the curtains. Elena woke up to the sound of gentle knocking. Adrian stood at the door, holding a bag of groceries and baby essentials. "I didn't know what babies need," he said awkwardly, "so I bought everything." Elena laughed softly for the first time in months. "You didn't have to." "I know," he interrupted. "But I wanted to." Over the next few days, Adrian helped her find a place to stay, a small apartment his company owned. He arranged interviews for her in a nearby art studio when he discovered her talent for painting. Slowly, Elena began rebuilding her life. She painted murals that reflected her journey: light emerging from darkness, hope rising from despair. Her story spread online, and soon, galleries wanted her work. But more than fame, it was dignity she regained, the kind that comes from standing back up after life has crushed you. Meanwhile, Adrian changed too. He started visiting her and Grace often. The baby would giggle whenever she saw him, and he, the man who once feared emotion, would find himself smiling back. He began to realize that his wealth meant nothing without purpose, without people to share it with. Elena's kindness, her resilience, reminded him of what humanity truly meant. One evening, as the sun set behind the city skyline, Adrian sat with Elena and Grace at a park. He watched as she lifted her daughter high into the air, both laughing freely. "You've changed me," he said quietly. Elena turned to him, eyes soft. "No, Adrian. You just remembered who you really are." He looked down for a moment, then whispered, "Do you ever miss him? Your husband?" "Every day," she said. "But I've learned something. Sometimes, losing everything is what makes you find what truly matters. A silence followed, deep, gentle, and healing. Adrian took a deep breath. Then maybe. We both found something tonight. She smiled, not as a woman rescued, but as someone who had risen from the ashes. Hope? He nodded. And each other. Sometimes, God places strangers in our path not to remind us of what we've lost, but to show us what we still have left: hope, kindness, and the power to begin again. You never know whose life you can change, simply by stopping in the rain.